Hi y'all, how you doing? And here's the start, and what a mess. I really do need to organize this before I get into what we're going to be doing today. And that is, I want to get this place tidied up and organized better than it is. And well, you look at that. There's a bunch of tools that I had under the instructions. And really what the next video, or my next actual hands-on working on the 500J video is going to be about getting that faceplate back on. And it has to go on there like that, but it has to go on there in tandem with the cam selector shaft, arm shaft, and also the stitch selector lever that I have right here, right there like that, because that has to go in there. So that's all with all that stuff. And this in particular has to go there as well as that part too. So that's going to be not this video, this is going to be the video after the tool time video, where I'm going to talk about these handy dandy tools that I have here. And what I usually do is I have them in that plastic container over here, except for the CHAPMAN manufacturing company, and that is tool set number 8900. And so I'm going to move that out of the way right now. I will open it up just before I do move it and let you have a look-see. And there we have the ratchet and all the bits. I have to get another set. This is quite old, probably about 3-4 years old. So I don't normally keep this on the table or in my little toolbox here. And so that's my little toolbox. I do have a set of Allen wrenches, foldable Allen wrench there. So I keep that in there. A couple of the smaller items I'll get out of the way with right away are these kind of forceps, pliers kind of thing. And then brushes. Speaking of brushes, I also have that one for getting after the dust and grunge and stuff in the machines. Let me move you over back to the tools a little more now, so that we get a better view of what's going on. And what I can tell you is that one of my number one tools that totally earns its value every time I drop something is this extendable magnetic metal retriever. So it goes fairly long, you know. There's my measuring tape. Can I get it on there and line it all up without messing it up? Altogether, it extends to about, with the handle, it extends to there, 32 inches, right on. But I want to let you know that this little device is worth its weight in platinum at least. You know, so you got to get one of those, an extendable, magnetic, and it's got the nice, you know, indentations for your fingers. It's very, very intuitive. This is sort of a longer screwdriver bit. I don't know if it's an electrician's screwdriver, but that's what it reminds me of. And it's got a fair bit of reach, as you can see. The shank is quite long, so that goes in the box. Other screwdrivers that I like and use and need to use, I'll get the offsets out of the way. So there's the two offsets, one for Phillips, one for slot. And you know, if you've done any kind of restoration, especially when you get down working with the dog and all those parts down there by the hook, those are very useful. So those are the bigger screwdrivers. And then here I have a set of forceps and another set of forceps and another little screwdriver. So I'll get the forceps out of there, and those are normally open. And there's a screwdriver that came with a sewing machine. And there's the regular little Singer screwdriver. And likewise with another small one. And you know, no pun intended, but they really are handy. This is my number one used screwdriver. That is probably number 2. That is probably number 3. That I'm on and off with that. Sometimes I use that all the time. Sometimes I don't use it for a couple of weeks at a time. So that's the screwdrivers. And then we get to needle nose pliers and the curved needle nose pliers, and then just that thing to line holes up and all that. So that's kind of my light duty, normal, handy, right on the filming table tool set. And I'm going to put those out of the way for a second. I did pull this out because this is quite an old screw ruler. It's from Denman and Monroe Druggists in Ottawa. Souvenir of Denman and Monroe Limited Druggists, Ottawa. 3 stores. They were on Spark Street, Queen, Dalhousie, and Elgin. Yeah, from a long time ago. So with all my picking up old vintage Singer sewing machines, I've come across, some really interesting things. What else do I want to show you here? I'm going to show you a bit. I'll show you the other toolbox that I have on a stool, and it has some of the larger stuff, like the long screwdriver. That's a really nice. I use that quite a bit too, but it's lengthy, so I don't keep it on the table all the time. Same with this screwdriver. This is quite often shows up on my table. You'll see it all over on many videos. And these are the WERA brand, I believe, WERA, and not sponsored by anybody. I'm totally independent. I pay for all of this myself. And but yeah, they're good tools, and I like the long reach on that too. It gives you a fair bit of torque, and you can see the bit is really, I don't know if you can appreciate or see that, but it's got a nice bit on it. I have scissors, I have sandpaper, I have pliers and vice grips, and more screwdrivers and brushes and all the rest of it. So that's kind of how, and I have that on a stool just off to the side here. And I'll show you a little more of my messy setup. Let me just focus out a bit. I have with some cleaners, rubbing alcohol, dishwashing detergent, my little handy hand flashlight, and grease. Below that, the color right there, the colorful one is Crud Cutter kitchen degreaser, so I use that here in the shop. And then I have a little bit of Crud Cutter, the Must for Rust. And that sewing machine behind that stuff is 237, one of the greatest machines ever made. And below that is a real sweetheart of a deal. There's the Featherweight 221. And that came with the original receipt and instruction booklet and all the original stuff in a nice, excellent condition Featherweight box. And that machine was sold at the Singer Service Center at 136 Spark Street in Ottawa, Ontario in March of 1949. That's where that baby comes from. So that's kind of the gem of my collection. I have about 30 machines altogether. Usually they're just subjects for videos to take them apart and put them back together, and I learn as much as I can while I'm doing that, because I really, I'm not a professional. I haven't trained in this stuff, it's a hobby, and but I like to play with tools and learn, obviously, so that's why I'm here. What else can I show you? Well, that's pretty much most of the mess. I'm going to quickly zoom over here behind us, and right there is the 401A that I use for sewing, which I haven't done for 2 or 3 weeks. And then over in the corner there behind the fan, I have a 431G and a 503 and a 411, I think, back there. So that gives you an idea of so that's kind of what I'm going on about today. I know I'm kind of all over the place here, but I wanted to show you a little bit of my minimal filming and work area that I do for making my videos here on YouTube. Hey, listen, guys and gals and guys, there's some of my tools. I'm coming back real soon, and I do thank you for coming and watching. I hope this helps you, so thank you for that. I'm not a sewer, so I'm really complimented that there are sewers that come here. Thanks for being here, folks. So peace, love, and happiness. Adios, amigos.